Hi, I'm Roman Lily, and today I'm talking to an American woman who has moved to Thailand because of health issues. She actually finds it to be more affordable and a better level of care in Thailand than in the US, if you can believe that. And there's a lot more coming up. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about other videos that I have coming up that I think you might be interested in. And you can feel free to like and share this video if you feel like you're getting some value from it or you find it interesting. And also, I'll put a link in here so that you can support my videos by joining my Patreon team if you want to do that as well. So, here's Kelly, and then I'll talk to you in a few minutes. All right, I'm so excited. Today, I'm talking with one of my favorite people ever, Kellie McRae. And Kellie is an expat who lives here. Although, I was talking with someone else, and I used the term expat. She didn't love that term. We can discuss if you even like that term or not. But I'm here talking with Kellie, who is from the U.S., who is now living here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And, different people come to Thailand for different reasons. Kellie has a unique situation where she came here for a reason that's a little different than some of the other digital nomads that I've come across. She came here for affordable health care because we all know that in the U.S., is way too expensive.
And it's crappy.
and the quality is maybe not that great.
So we're so diplomatic. You're like, maybe it's not that great. I'm like, it's crappy.
Kellie's going to tell it to you like it is. I'm going to put a little bit of sugar on it. Kellie's like, knock the sugar off and give it to you raw.
Exactly.
So you have lupus.
Yes.
And why did you decide to leave the country? Like, what is that process like? Did people think you were crazy? Is the healthcare better here? Tell me about how this came to be that you're here in Thailand for healthcare.
Okay. So I got an ugly diagnosis, obviously. Lupus, for those of you that have no clue, is an autoimmune disease, and it's incurable, and it does some funky things to your body. And what was happening in the States was, one, insurance was all about how you actually got your care. You don't really get any input into your own body, into your own care, into even what doctors you're able to go to, because if this doctor is a great doctor, but he's not approved by your insurance carrier, like a lot of the doctors won't even do self-pay. And if you did do self-pay, the cost is so prohibitive that it's like, okay, well, I'll just, cower to my insurance company. So,
right. I don't think a lot of people are making so much money that in the U.S. they can just pay out of pocket for doctors. I mean, I know that I went to the doctor for some really basic stuff just to check out a question with my back. It was hundreds of dollars, even with decent insurance.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine without insurance how anyone can make it work, especially with a condition like lupus.
Right. Because you're going to have, I'm going to have ongoing care, forever and a day, and I'm always going to be on some type of medication. And one of the medications that I had in the U.S. without insurance 1 month was $946.47 a month. So I can
That's
get
an apartment.
Yes, I can get all of my care here, literally I had to do an MRI last week, and it was actually an MRI/MRA, and it was like $600. And that's it. No bill. It's done. It's paid for. It's finished. And when I go to see the actual doctor, and I've got 4 or 5 specialists that I actually see, the most that I've paid is roughly 800 baht, which breaks down to about $24 US. That's for a specialist. That's the expensive specialist.
That's like a copay in the U.S.
Exactly.
Let alone a fee. Now, here's a question. I think that if I'm just chilling in the U.S. or Canada or wherever I am, and I haven't been to Thailand, I might think I don't know, is the care good? Are the doctors qualified? Do they speak English? Are the facilities nice?
Yes.
Are they? What is it? Tell me.
All of that. So many of the doctors were trained in the U.S. as well as in their home country. So they have, believe it or not, innovations that we don't have in the U.S. There's a misconception that there's great care in the U.S. First of all, the United States doesn't even hit the top 20 as far as good health care is concerned, first of all. So it's a misconception that there's great quality health care in the U.S. It really is like third world status, but when you come to the third world, they've been trained in the U.S. and they've been trained by their own countries. And the things that can actually provide you with a lot of relief in the U.S., because I hope this isn't too controversial for me to say on your YouTube.
Let's go there.
All right.
Let's see.
But if it provides you with relief, if it provides you with a savings, if it provides you with preventative care, your insurance carrier will not approve it.
when you say that, do you mean things like, okay, so I'm in a lot of natural communities, and one thing that comes to mind when you say that to me is like marijuana. So certainly medical marijuana, I think, is a topic now that a lot of people are talking about with cancer.
Yes.
And a lot of different things. I actually read something literally this morning, not knowing it was going to come up, but about medical marijuana studies that have been done. They're very positive. So
Yes.
I mean, are those some of the treatments that like you're thinking about?
Yes.
In the U.S., it's sort of still controversial?
Yes. I mean, not even so much that, like, okay, for example, I have a deficiency every now and again on my protein levels. Just because it's just the nature of the disease, right? So if I were in the US and I went to the doctor and they read that, hey, you've got a protein deficiency, they're going to prescribe me something, right? Here in Thailand, 2 different doctors said, eat 3 egg whites a day. Your doctors back in the States would never say that because the pharmaceutical companies are paying them to push pharmaceutical grade stuff. When you talk about marijuana, the reason that marijuana hasn't been approved in the States yet is because they can't figure out how to keep everybody from growing it in their backyard so they can make money on it. So if it provides you with natural relief, like marijuana, the studies have been shown time and time and time again, it alleviates pain. So why are we waiting to make it legal? It grows out of the ground naturally. We're not doing it because it won't make enough money for pharmacy and for insurance and for food and for agriculture. That's why they're not approving it. One of the things that brought me here was, strangely, a television show on healthcare where the doctor said to me, hey, we want to do a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. And not to get graphic, but that means they're going to go in this end and in that end, and you're going to be knocked out, right? So I'm watching this program.
It doesn't really sound like fun.
It doesn't sound like fun, right? And if they damage you on the inside, weirdly, going down or up, it can take up to 2 years for that to heal on the inside, okay? So now you've got new problems that they caused trying to figure out what's wrong with you. Well, here in Thailand, they actually have a camera the size of a pill that you can swallow. You put a little camera pack on your hip and you go about your day. And that's your colonoscopy and your endoscopy. So I asked in the States, hey, can I have that? It says, oh, that's experimental. No, it really isn't. But because it's non-invasive, and because
I was going to say, the notion of that being experimental, it seems like a fine experiment, right? Like, what's the worst case scenario? You swallow it work, you poop it out. Sorry if that's kind of gross. Right?
Exactly.
Like, you poop it out, it's over, right? Like, that's my kind of experiment. That's easy.
Okay, but
no side effects, right?
You only had to pay one doctor, and you had to poop out, you had to dig around in the toilet to get that camera, because that's exactly how that works, okay? But in the States, you got to get whoever it is that's a specialist with the camera to go this way, and a specialist with the camera that can go this way. You got to have an anesthesiologist. Then you got to have the crap that makes you crap, sorry, because that's what you got to clean it all out. But then you also have to have potentially pain meds because they're, shoving stuff down your throat. And you got to do, like, it's all this extra money.
By the way, like, I like that Kelly's so serious and she's like talking about this. Like, I'm still on the thing about the doctor fishing the
Oh no, the doctor don't fish that. You fish that out.
Oh, you fish.
You fish that out.
Ooh, that's experimental. I don't know about that.
Let me tell you something. When your inside starts swelling up like marshmallows, you're fishing poop. If they're gonna give you solutions, you're like, oh, I'm all up in that. What is that? Move that corn over.
No. Okay, I'm done. I hope it never comes to this, y'all. Like, I hope it never comes to this. Yeah. But listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, to be honest, like, we're making jokes and it's kind of funny. But like, honestly, if the choice is fishing through some poop versus like having all these invasive procedures, listen, you get the gloves on and you go for it. Yes. I think is what's gonna happen.
Yes. So I came to Thailand with 7 pounds of medical records and about 6 figures worth of medical debt. When I came to Thailand, my diagnosis was roughly 7 months old. Mm-hmm. And I've been hospitalized here twice now. I think it's been twice, 2 or 3 times. I'm losing count. The most expensive hospital stay that I had was roughly $1,200. That included a hematologist, a cardiologist, a general practice doctor, and they have lupus specialists here, which basically breaks down to rheumatology, but here, like, the focus is just on lupus. That was with a, sorry.
No, and I just want to add that when she's telling you these figures, these are numbers, no insurance. This is just the total cost, not subsidized by anyone. This is the full figure, full price fee.
Exactly.
That you're paying.
Yes.
Okay, not like after copays
Nope.
or whatever.
This is uninsured, self-pay. I left with all of my prescription meds that I needed, and I am a vegetarian, and so they did a vegetarian diet. And it's so funny because like they're so pro-vegetarian here that when they brought me the initial menu and it had meat on it, and I was like, oh no, I'm vegetarian. Like the girl was so apologetic that I had to go back and review if she had said derogatory things about my mama. Because she was like, oh, so sorry. And I was like, relax. It's just, a vegetable versus a pig. It's all good.
Yeah.
But and when I told and you get real nurses here, by the way, you don't get nurse practitioners or physician's assistants. You get real doctors and real nurses, and they take the time to actually answer all of your questions, no matter how long it takes, so you don't feel like you're rushed through. And this is the kicker. They actually know who you are. Like they straight up remember you. I went last week, I had a doctor's appointment every friggin' day. And one of the nurses, like the last time I was in the hospital was like the end of March, the first part of April. And the guy walks over and he goes, do you remember me? And I'm looking at him like, no. And he says, you came in, you had the heart issue. And that was, at this new hospital, that was the end of March. The fact that he remembered me and remembered what my condition was, that is like huge. You can go to your primary care physician and half the time they don't even remember your name, and they're your primary care physician in the States. You just don't get that quality that you get here.
I for sure think that in the States, definitely. Like they know your name from looking at the chart.
Yes.
They don't know your name from if they saw you on the street, they'd be like, maybe you get hey, patient number 2752. Nice to see you today.
Right, yeah.
But it is nice that you come, there are places that can give you sort of a customized level of service. And I think this is what I want to talk about today, the fact that there are different options and alternatives, and there are people who are coming to different countries for different medical services. And I didn't really know about medical tourism until I got to Thailand and started hearing about it. The fact that for a lot of people, it's actually cheaper to take a flight and get medical care in a foreign country versus doing it in the U.S. Honestly, it's kind of sad that's kind of where we are right now in the healthcare system in the U.S., but that's kind of where we are. Yeah. So I've appreciated this chat with Kellie. I'm going to provide a link to you in the description, which also has Kellie's YouTube page, which she gives a lot more information, whether you have stuff about lupus. She's also a business coach, and she does everything. This woman is just amazing. So you can check it out for yourself and see all the amazing things she has to offer. And feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to have more chats coming up with different digital nomads and expats who are living all over the world. And I didn't ask you, I mentioned this in the beginning, but yes or no, do you consider yourself an expat? I mean, you might go back to the U.S. one day.
No. I know. I'm going back to the U.S. to visit. That's it. I'm not letting them fools kill me, no.
Well, there you have it.
But I consider myself an immigrant because that's what we call foreigners in our country. So
she's an immigrant in Thailand right now. So you can check her stuff out. And thanks for watching.
Bye.
All right, so that was Kellie. I just love sitting down and talking with her. She always remains so positive and upbeat regardless of what's going on. I find it so inspirational. And coming up, I have a series of chats coming up with Carolina. She is a digital nomad who's been out here living abroad, traveling, and making money for over 3 years. And she has so much information to provide. It's amazing. We sat down for one chat, but I'm actually planning to turn it into a series of talks. She just had so much information to give. I couldn't even fit it all into one little episode. So you have that to look forward to. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of this that's coming up.